Hello and welcome to the High Altitude Investing live stream. Today is 12/19/17 Tuesday, and we are going to be going over the entire cryptocurrency market cap as usual. And I'm going to be taking requests on coins and, all of the above. So go ahead and hit that like button. Welcome everybody. It's going to be an amazing stream. We've had a lot of bullish movement in cryptocurrency, a lot of people making a lot of money. So things have been very exciting the past few days. Let me switch to my screen here and we'll kind of get into this. Firstly, looking at Bitcoin. But yeah, welcome everybody. What a week. Billions and billions have been coming in. Billions and billions and billions. And as you guys know, I was talking about this way back in the day when we were in the couple $100 billion market capitalization. And, all that growth that we've expected has came our way. So we're just, we've been riding these waves. We've been letting all of this new money come into cryptocurrency at the rate that it wants to. Which is very, very quickly. If you go to the coinmarketcap.com, you can see, let me switch to my screen, that we have everything up. I mean, Bitcoin's down 3% right now, but it's just doing a little ABC correction before it pops up towards $30,000 per coin. But we have 9% up on Ethereum, 20% up on Bitcoin Cash. 5%, well, 6% on Ripple, 8 on Litecoin, 33 on IOTA. ADA has been performing extremely well, like doing 100% a day recently. Billions and billions have been flooding into it, so that one has been heavily hyped recently. It, popped up in the top like 7 market cap. It's 7 now, so it's done some very impressive movement recently. A new economy movement popping out really nicely. EOS performing extremely well. Monero, Qtum, billions, hundreds of percent a day, just like ADA. So parabolic movement everywhere. So, we're getting those huge impulsive legs, those Elliott waves coming up in the market. People getting excited and then flooding their money into it, and then they start to make money, so they put more in. And then, yesterday I was scrolling down on the percentages and I didn't see a single coin that was down in the top 100 coins, I believe. I mean, maybe there was 1 or 2, but yeah. We have some crazy upward movement going on right now, and it's exciting. I hope that you all have been making money and holding everything through all of this movement. I have been selling off some of my Bitcoin, as you guys know, but I will be holding 20% through everything, through the possible retracement in the spring of next year. So, I'm going to be holding a portion of my Bitcoin through all of that. But right now, things are extremely bullish. So, selling cryptocurrency is probably not the smartest move. Not yet, at least. I mean, scaling out on some of your gains, always good. As a trader, you want to exercise making good decisions. So, take your profit on stuff if you're up on certain things. Not all of your position, but take some of that profit. It's always good to lock in gains and nice targets. So, be scaling out a little bit here, but we've still got a lot of upward movement for the next month. And it's looking that January will be bullish as well. So we're kind of just expecting the sell-off to be towards the spring sometime, but we'll be watching those waves kind of to get precise movement. So let's get into some TA now, because, that's what I like to do best. So we'll be Bitcoin here to start. I believe that the last time I was really talking about Bitcoin was right here when we had this panic, which was actually a minute ago. We had a panic from the $8,000 level down to the $5,600 level. And I made a video explaining to everybody that although I did not actually predict that red candle coming in right here, I expected it to be completely engulfed by bullish buyers, and that's exactly what has happened. We've had weekly candlesticks coming in, and for the past, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks, we've had bullish movement here in Bitcoin, which is very nice. Now on the weekly, we do have a little bit of selling off right here, but I'll go into the smaller time frame and kind of show you what I'm thinking on that movement and what we can expect over the next couple weeks for Bitcoin. So let me go into the 12-hour time frame. If we go into the 12-hour, we can kind of see that we've just been ramping up here in Bitcoin, accelerating in prices. As we get steeper and steeper like this, the chart is getting, stronger and stronger. The bullish trend is. At some point, this bullish movement will die off and it will have to come back down to test support. But I'm not going to try to call the top and tell you exactly where Bitcoin's going to stop, because any good trader knows that you're not supposed to call tops on markets. You wait for the support trends to be broken, and we have not had any breaks in support trends. So let's go into the 3-hour time frame and zoom in a little bit here and come out, and let's do a little bit of wave counting. Come back like this. All right, so I'm going to start off by counting the ABC correction. A, B, C, and let me just switch these. Oops. Switch this to intermediate cycle. Okay. All right, still getting used to this new mouse that I'm using. It's a little sensitive, so forgive me. I might have to adjust the settings in the middle of the stream here. All right, cancel. Okay. So we had an ABC correction that occurred right here at the top of this wave. And that was because we had an impulsive upward move from here, which would have been a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 move. And then let me take this and switch this to a intermediate wave set. Okay. There we go. So that was the recent move that we saw here, was an impulsive move on the upside. And then now we've started a new Elliott cycle. So let's go and let's count some smaller waves here. If we go into this time frame and the hourly candlesticks, and then we come from here, we can start counting the waves here, and we find another cycle. 1, 2, 3, A, B, C. And then we take this and we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this is the ABC correction that follows, which will come test 16.8 right here, and we will bounce and see bullish continuation on Bitcoin, because this will be the first real leg in the cycle. So we're going to expect something like this to come out of all of this, right? Is a bigger Elliott cycle with more bullish movement in the bigger time frames up towards the $30,000 levels. And this would be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So depending on how big this first wave is, we can count the waves inside of the waves. And once this first wave is made, We can then assume that the 3 wave will be bigger than the first wave. That's one rule of Elliott's, is that you have the first wave and the 3 wave is always bigger, more impulsive than the first wave. The rule is that the 3 wave cannot be the smallest wave in the Elliott. So depending on how big this first wave is, we can get a feel for how big the next move is going to be coming in Bitcoin. Now that move, from what I can see from Fibonacci extensions, because we can take this tool right here and go from the low to the high of support and resistance, we have major resistance between $28,000 and $33,000, and then we have more resistance closer to the $40,000 and $42,000 levels. If we come back in Bitcoin and touch the $22,000 levels in the 4 wave, then we could expect a bullish move even up past $30,000. So we're just letting this first wave get painted and see how big it is, and then we can expect how big the 3rd wave can be. So, no, yeah, I'm not saying that the 3rd wave has to be the biggest. I'm just saying that it cannot be the smallest. So, but yeah, generally in crypto, we find that the 3rd wave is very impulsive. It's more impulsive than the first, and then the 5th is the most impulsive of all. And that's just what we find over and over. If you look at this fractal here, this Elliott fractal that happened, you can see we have a first wave that's just kind of slow and steady, which actually this first wave may be something more like this. That might be a little bit too tall for that first wave. See, Elliott waves, you might have different counts, but the outcome is the same, so it doesn't matter. You might have a little bit of a different count, but as long you still get to the same Fibonacci extension, so it doesn't matter if the count's different, and you still buy at the same support levels. All right, so this is the previous fractal, the previous Elliott wave that we saw. See, a very, very small first wave comes in, and then a little retracement, and then a very impulsive 3rd wave, and then a very, very impulsive 5th wave. And that's just what we've seen happen over and over in the past with cryptocurrency. It seems to be that 5 wave gets crazy. Everybody thinks that we're going to S-curve and that the US dollar's dead forever. And people get excited. So the 5 waves are generally very impulsive. All right, so let's remove all these drawing tools. So yeah, the next serious target for Bitcoin is we're going to land onto the 16.8 level one more time, and then we're expecting a bounce from those levels. So let me just take this fib retracement like this. Oops. Like I said, still getting used to my new mouse. It's a little sensitive. Okay. Double click. Pull down. So yeah, it's likely that we come touch. Let me make sure that this is accurate. Okay, there we go. It's likely that we come touch in this area here, which would actually be the 382, which it looks like I do not have enabled, so let me enable that level. Yeah, so we're looking at it to touch the 382 at 16.8 or 16.9 right there. And then it will bounce from that Fibonacci support level. And we're expecting a very impulsive move out to 25 at least, because that will start the new wave set. So we're expecting this move to come to the 25 levels. And we can use Fibonacci extensions to get those targets by using the previous support and resistance levels from here to here. Oops. Okay. From here to here. So yeah. 23 is the next Fibonacci resistance. We'll probably overextend to about 25. and those are the next extension levels as well. The 618 is the golden ratio for targets. That's like the golden ratio Fibonacci numbers, 618. So that's what we use. We just stack that up, 2 618, 3 618, 4 618, 5 618. You can just, extend those out. All right. So let's go and remove all these drawing tools and go into the 12-hour, and let's take some altcoin requests for TA. All right. Okay, cash. Let's see, what is the chat saying today? So Profit, do you want to email me and explain what you're talking about? Because clearly you got pretty worked up over it, so if you want to email me and show me what you're talking about with the wave count difference, I will be happy to look at what you have to say. All right. Let's go to the daily and come down like this. Okay, this coin, let's come back here and analyze the previous market cycle, because this was a previous market cycle that we had in altcoin. We have a very, very small one wave here. Very impulsive 3 wave, an extremely impulsive 5 wave. Okay. And now we have started a new market cycle after this correction phase from the ABC. So we had an ABC right here. So we can expect this to be some bullish movement from here. We'll probably break out of resistance and start a new cycle. And do something like this. So yes, OK Cash has some bullish movement to come. This is similar to the Litecoin chart, where it's just been accumulated, had a bullish market cycle, and then it had that first sell-off that we see, and then it can start if we break this previous resistance. This was kind of like a little cup and handle, but not quite. I would say that kind of invalidates the pattern with how high that 5th wave was, but kind of that same fractal of a cup and handle where you have a rounded bottom and then a support with the 2 wave. And then we're expecting an impulsive 3 out of this to break previous resistance to those levels. We can calculate targets, 2618. So yeah, like $1.50 would be the top of the 3, and then a pullback, and then another extension out to 5 and past. So yeah, OK Cash is definitely bullish from here. All right, remove all drawing tools. Now let's check out the other. Let's see, let's do Stratus. Okay, nope, that's start. Stratus. Wow. There we go. Alright, so we just broke major resistance. As you guys know, I've been talking about this coin for a little while. I made a video about this coin actually specifically. It was called How to Paper Trade on TradingView, and I showed people how to make an entry, do TA on something and find an entry. And I basically just drew this downtrending resistance level and then the support level, and then just drew like an entry box right here. Hold on just one second. I drew like an entry box right here. Hold on. All right, yeah, sorry about that. Had to text somebody. So, yeah, here's the entry zone that I drew. And as you can see, it bounced out and then fell onto the buy zone. And we've seen a breakout in major resistance. So this one had some pretty nice movement. If we measure the percentages at the start of this year, we had a pump from, let's see, what was these prices? About 0.03, so about 3 cents to $11. So I mean, just from 0228 to 05 of 30, we saw 35,000% in Stratus. And then this just goes to show how volatile cryptocurrency is. I actually posted this on my Twitter earlier today. We had a retracement of 83% of its market value between June and July. So this is why if you want to invest in a coin, you have to be able to stomach, you know, if you see how much you've made in something and you're not locking in those profits, then you have to be able to stomach losing 88% of even the profits that you made. And so that's why the emotional psychology in something as volatile as cryptocurrency can be kind of brutal. You have to learn TA and you have to learn how to properly spot double bottoms and count waves so that you can kind of get better, at least increase the odds so the odds are better in your favor so that you don't get stuck, you know, losing 88% of your money. Because a lot of people that buy the top and get really excited when they see something that went up 35,000%, you know, that's like, wow, look how much money I made off of this. So they want to tell everybody. And they get excited and the emotions start to come in. They don't sell. And we have this huge, huge fall afterwards. And it drops 88%. But now that the retracement is over and, you know, the risk to reward for buying was better down here, the whale saw that it landed onto the lower Fibonacci support. So if we draw our Fibonacci, we can go from the low to the high of this move, of the 35,000% move. And you can see that it fell to the 786 retracement. So the whales saw that and they're like, yay. It's either good risk reward for entries, so they start buying, and you know, we've had that bullish move come out of it. So since that low, we've seen how much bullish movement on Stratus? 500%. So, and since I made that video where I showed people how to paper trade and like find entries with the buy zone, it's moved. At current price is about 200%. So yeah, that's pretty nice movement here for Stratus. Everything is going crazy, as we all know. All right, remove all drawing tools. Now let's see what the other requests are. Okay, let's check out 10x because I haven't looked at that one in a while. All right, so a lot of these coins that get added to the exchanges, you'll find that they have this panic. Basically, right when they get added, there's this big red candlestick that comes. Like right here, you can see that 10x went from $9.40 down to $4 or 45 cents actually. So, you know, if we measure that move again, we could see that that was, if you bought right when it was added to the exchange, you would have lost 93% of your investment to the bottom. But the nice thing about these dumps is a lot of times they come retest those levels. So I mean, even if we go back to the Stratus chart really fast. If you go back to the Stratus chart, you can see that those levels that when it was added to the exchange that it dumped from right here at $9, and then it came all the way down to 5. So that was what Stratus did. It was added to the exchange at $9 and then went down to 5 cents. So, you know, 99% of your investment. And then, you know, we had that bullish move. That was where we got that 35,000%. Was because it went down 99% and then retested that previous resistance. So even though when they get added to the exchange, they might dump really hard, if you know when to start buying, you can expect that to be a potential resistance down the road. And, you know, you can use that to calculate your targets. So with something like 10x, where we have a lot of bullish volume coming in and a nice double bottom formation, we had a breakout in descending resistance back here, 0924, and then it just kind of consolidated sideways, and then we've had this first little breakout here and bullish move. We can expect 10x to easily go to the prices that it dumped from when it was added to the exchange. So with the case of 10x, that would be about 160% up from here. That would be the next potential resistance and potential target for 10x pay. So, you know, sometimes we have those big dumps, and then sometimes we have these huge pumps back up to where they dumped from. And you can use those levels as TA levels actually for your targets. All right, the other one that I wanted to go over, let's see, VTC. We're getting a lot of Digibyte people out there, so we'll talk about Digibyte in just a second. Can't give you my exact targets for Digibyte because it's a signal though, so. All right. Now with VTC or Vertcoin, we're having these steps up. It's just nice moves in the market where we have bullish price action stepping up like this. The first step right here was, oops. Yes, we could count the waves, but that's not what I'm actually trying to do. The first step was 1,000%, and then the next step was 300%, and then it's likely we see another step up in this market, another wave of bullish buyers of probably another few 100% at least. So very bullish on Vertcoin. You can use fib extensions, trend-based fib extensions to find some targets if you like, by going with the previous support and resistance. As you can see, that showed you the top of this move, and then you can go over here and find the other previous support and resistance of the next little cycle here, and that gave you the short-term top of this move, but I suspect this to actually go higher, because if you zoom into this consolidation pattern, we had a breakout of another pennant. So this looks bullish to me, so we're expecting more upward movement, but I cannot seem to get my screen to drag over here on the right hand side. Sometimes this happens to me on TradingView. If anybody knows a solution, please let me know. But what will happen is on the right hand of my screen, I'll try to drag and zoom, and as you can see, it does nothing. So that's really frustrating. If anybody knows a solution, please email it to me. I don't know how to fix it. But yeah, so we can expect this to go to $15, $20. I can't even see to get that exact price range. I'll see if the next chart will allow me to zoom in and out properly. IOTA. All right. Come on. Deselect auto mode. Auto scale. Yeah, I deselected it. As you can see, right click. Auto is not selected. The check is not selected, and the problem is still there. So oh, there we go. I think I got it working. I think it was just my computer bandwidth issues. Internet bandwidth issues is what I think that was. So yeah, $20 is a nice spot to see Vertcoin stop. 15 to 20. Those would be the next areas that we can see legs in the market too. You know, expect another leg, and then maybe a little bit of consolidation, and then maybe another leg, something like that. So more bullish movement in Vertcoin. All right, now let's go over OMG. OMG, I actually have a public TA for. If I go into the Discord, which by the way, there is a free area in my Discord if you guys like to come in there and just like want to talk. And then also I have VIP, and there's a discount you can have in the description of this stream. If you like to get 20% off on that, you can use that code along with my website. But let me go into the VIP, or not the VIP, the I can't show the VIP, too secret. Let me open up the announcements channel here for you guys and show you my public TA on OMG here. So we have a nice cycle that I spotted. So let me just draw this cycle again, remove all drawing tools. All right. And then pull down on this chart. Okay, here's the link address. So here's my TA that I previously did on OMG. I'll just drop that right there for you guys. But basically, I noticed that we had a first market cycle and a full ABC correction, and we have the ability to do a 3, 4, 5 up into the $50 levels with OMG. So that was one that I publicly did TA on for all of my members in the Discord server. So yeah, that's kind of those areas that I expect it to go to in this next wave. The 3 wave is to about $50. Let me see what I can do with the stream speed, if there's anything I can close. All right. Wow, people are spamming DGB pretty heavily. So yeah, let's go over DGB. But yeah, guys, there's bullish movement in cryptocurrency for foreseeable at least like 2 months that we can see. In the market cap, we just have more waves to paint. We've started new cycles, and we're starting to get the sub-micro waves and the little waves, and we can see and kind of start to get a picture of how much movement we have left in this before we start to see like any serious topping. And I see at least $200 more billion coming in over the next month or two. I'm bullish on the entire market cap. I don't think you should be selling of anything quite yet. We've got more movement to come. So like the real 5 waves and the real profit taking areas aren't for a minute yet. So this is kind of the previous TA that I drew on Digibyte. I can't give you the exact targets because this is a signal, and this is kind of what I was looking at though when I saw the signal. So when I saw the signal, I saw this nice falling wedge pattern. Very common to see. This is a 4x pattern, actually. All right, A, B, C, and then, you know, your requisite A, B, C. And then we have this nice rounded bottom formation. And if you zoom in, a little bull flag. So this is what the bull flag looked like. And then it broke bullish out of that, and we have started the upward movement. Now, I am totally expecting this coin to break previous resistance. So I'm expecting it to break the 60 or the 6 cent level and go significantly higher than that. But like I said, the exact prices and targets I am not going to give out due to it being a signal. But we can go over Litecoin. Litecoin dollar. All right. So we have had some very impulsive movement here on the upside, and we need to find exact prices. So if we go into the smaller waves on the 3-hour candles, we can see that this kind of pop that started here in Litecoin actually has really just started. This would be like the first the first wave. We'll have a retracement up here. We'll have a retracement, but it won't be the top of Litecoin. There's going to be lots more bullish movement even after the retracement that we have after this fifth wave in this smaller time frame. So if you count then we can see a 1, 2. Then there's that impulse of 3, and we still need to have that 5. This technically could be the top of the 5 because the requirement is that it just has to break resistance of the 3, but it's more likely that we see an extended fifth wave here and prices go even significantly higher over the next month or so. With Litecoin. So I don't see this as the top of the 5 wave, but it will have a top of the 5 wave pretty soon and then have an ABC correction. I wish I could zoom up here on the right hand side of my screen. It's very frustrating. Let me see what I can do here. Okay, I'm closing out of stuff, minimizing and slowing this stream. Let's see if this will help with all of this lag, because it's getting a little tense. Let's see. All right. Okay. Is the stream health better now? No, actually, IHGJ, I literally have the best physical internet that I have where I live. I'm just waiting to move at the beginning of next year. So, I have done everything I physically can to increase my internet speed because this is not the first stream in which I've had lag, but it really has gotten a little bit more significant now that I have more viewers. But, you know, I just kind of have to deal with it until the beginning of next year. Unless somebody knows some settings for OBS, I've asked that before, but haven't gotten an email or anything, and haven't been able to figure out how to fix that. So. But yeah, we're expecting more bullish movement to $400 plus. Can't give exact targets because this was a signal as well. All right, Civic. Okay. 1 day. Now, Civic is looking extremely nice. We have a little inverse head and shoulders fractal that we had play out before it popped up right here to $1. And then it consolidated sideways for a 3-month period of time, and we've now had that rounded bottom breakout with volume coming up. And this is another one where we can use that example of look where this coin dumped from when it was added to the exchange. It dumped from $3, and then it came down to 16 cents. So, you know, that could be a level that we see Civic hit down the road. Now, does it hit it in this pump? We don't know for sure, but could it hit it down the road? Yes, it could easily go up to these levels of the $3 levels, which is 500%, 469% from here on the upside. As far as short-term targets go, I would use this previous support and resistance from this point here to get your targets on this waves, which would be at least $2.34. That would be the next stop. A lot of times we see very kind of triangle movement like this, where it just steps up like that. The market just kind of pumps extremely parabolic. We see that a lot in cryptocurrency. So it wouldn't surprise me if we see that type of a pump here in Civic, where it basically just pumps to one of those levels. That's basically the setup that I see this as, is that we have nice increasing volume. Everything looks crazy right now, by the way. So much volume coming in. I've never seen like this type of movement in my life. So it is very exciting times because of that. But that would be what I'd expect in Civic, is this kind of like a pop and make a triangle up to, you know, $1.50, $2 around there. $2.34 is the Fibonacci resistance. But yeah. All right. TNT. Let's see if there is a chart for that, actually. Is this stream like bearable though? Like, can you guys hear what I'm saying? Or is it to the point where like, you can't even watch it? Because like if it's to the point where you can't even watch it, I might try to switch to my cell phone and go to hotspot and see if that's any better. But I don't know if it would be. For sure. All right. I believe I saw some people requesting that I do EOS. All right. So this is what Ethereum OS looks like against the dollar, which is very nice. You know, this is that move that I was talking about that I kind of see Civic could make, where it just kind of makes this like this pump, like boom, you know, you just have like sideways movement, and then all of a sudden one day you come over here and you look, and the coin went from being worth 48 cents to $12, making anybody that purchased it 2,400% in the period of 2 months. So that's kind of that type of parabolic move where you just see that pump that we see in cryptocurrency a lot. And by the way, this one is outperforming Bitcoin. If you look Ethereum OS and then you go to the Bitcoin Ethereum OS chart, this one is averaging higher percentage gains than Bitcoin is for the past, you know, basically 2 months. We've had this coin outperform Bitcoin. And that trend had just slowly gotten more and more. So from here, what can we kind of see for Ethereum OS? What do we expect? Well, I personally believe that Ethereum OS has pretty close to a 10x in value, like down the road. And the main reason for that is because of that test wick that I talk about. Here's that dump that we have when we came in from the exchange at 23. Lost 92% of its value. And now we're starting that pump. So if we come test previous resistance levels, we're talking about Ethereum OS having, you know, 100% in BTC terms. Now, does it hit that level? It's not guaranteed, but I have seen it many times over and over in cryptocurrency where we break above the point that we dumped from. Now, does it take a while to hit that level? It could take till 2019. But that is, that's possible over the next 2 years. All right, Ethereum Classic, because this is one that I have talked about on my channel a lot. I mentioned to people that I saw Ethereum Classic going from about $10 to $100. And since then, we've had it go from about $10 to $42, so we're halfway there. I think that this kind of is that same type of move here where we expect more pumping on the upside. This just doesn't look like the top of this wave by any means, considering the fact that we just barely broke out of this level here at $24, which was major previous resistance. So it's likely that we see a pretty impulsive third wave out of this. And what I mean by that is that in Elliott waves, since we've started a new cycle, this is 1, and then this would be our 2. Oops. There we go. So 1 and not 1, but 2. And then we can expect a 3 wave coming out of this, but as I was saying earlier, the 3 wave is bigger than the 1 wave, so this one is going to be impulsive. So that means more movement coming on Ethereum Classic. More bullish movement to, like I said, my long-term target is $100. I've mentioned that on my channel basically since we had this first pump. Basically since May, I've been saying that my Ethereum Classic long-term target was $100. So, all right. ADA. Check out my shirt. It's in Bitcoin, in cryptography we trust. It's pretty cool. Got that one the other day. Gotta always keep getting new crypto clothes. All right. So, as you can see, this one has just kind of broken out of this resistance level. This looks like a potential to be a little bull flag that we broke out of right here. All right. So that would be a bull flag, and then we came back down to test support. A lot of times when you have breakouts of these little pennants or bull flags, they fall back down onto the support levels in which they broke out of. And then now we can expect more bullish movement here to come for ADA. And the reason for that is because of a breakout in a bull flag pattern and the fact that this is the Elliott's. This would be our 1, 2. Oh, wow. I don't know why it keeps doing that. No. Daily candlesticks and 1 hour. There we go. So yeah. This would be the 1, 2, and then 3, and then 4, and then 5, and because 5 waves are usually the biggest in crypto. Let's expect this to exceed these levels significantly. I would try to show you, but I'm still having that problem where for some reason on the right hand of my screen, I literally cannot zoom. Oh, there's that auto scale. Let me switch it off, see if that fixes it now. There we go. There we go. I think I fixed it. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Yeah, so we'd expect this to go significantly higher. Let me show you. Something like that. You know, this is crypto. 5 legs are impulsive. So that's kind of what I'm seeing in the ADA. Okay, so people are saying that I'm barely audible at this point. Holy shoot. Okay, I'm disappeared. Did that increase bandwidth significantly? You might not be able to see me, but maybe we can get through the rest of this stream without lag, and then you could see me at the end. But yeah, so this is the kind of that TA for ADA. I might as well just take this and be really nice for you guys and share it so that you guys can all use this chart. Copy. Now anybody in my stream, here it is. Paste. That's my TA for it. You guys can go ahead and use that at any time. All right. Now the interesting thing about this coin, actually, I was counting the waves in the smaller wave because this is the 3 wave, but we do have this going on right here, which was technically the 1 wave in my opinion. So you have that 1 wave, and then we're experiencing that 3 wave, and I counted the waves inside of that 3 wave, so that's counting subwaves. And then this one could even experience more bullish movement after that, because according to the wave count, and according to the fractal, the 1 wave has to be this, small in comparison to the 3 wave. And as you can see, the 3 wave would be very significant here, and that's what we find. So this is actually what I would consider to be the submicro, or the waves within the waves of the 3 wave. And we can take this and you can, consider that to be the waves inside of the wave set. Right, because it's a fractal. So in theory, Elliott waves repeats itself on every single time frame. So you can find and you can count the fractal inside of itself. Like that. So that's kind of how we see that movement and how we can expect and predict and project prices with those Elliott waves. And it's very useful to understand that the 3 wave is the biggest wave, by the way. It helps back check your wave count, because then you can see that this is actually that 3 wave. So that's what I would expect here with ADA. I can delete these now that I have those microwaves. Microwaves. The microwaves are drawn. All right, and I will just go ahead and share this one now too, because it's the Christmas season. All right. Let's check out Factum. Factum dollar. All right. Factum dollar. Factum has officially broken major resistance. Yeah, this is one of those this is one of those cycles where you're like, okay, this is now officially time for a 3-wave because we have this little 1-wave coming in. And that looks big, right? This looks giant in comparison to the previous prices. But because it wasn't that impulsive, meaning that it was still very triangular in shape. So it's just a triangle like that. Expect that to be the 1-wave. Now, if it looked something more like this, where it was like that and impulsive, then we wouldn't expect it to be the 1-wave because it would be too impulsive to be that cycle. I hate it when I accidentally do that. Sometimes these waves can be a pain in the butt to work with. But this is kind of what I mean by that. So this actually, if you zoom out and go into targets for Factum, so now we're going to be expansively exploding, okay, because we just broke out of a huge pennant. So it's going to explode from here. That's how it works. And if it's going to expansively explode, then that looks like a right, that looks right for that to be just like a little 1-wave. And then we can expect an impulsive 3-wave to come out of it. Something like that. So that's kind of what we're looking at in cryptocurrency, you guys. This is until 2020 at minimum. In my opinion, until 2020, we're going to have explosive movement. There will be pullbacks. We'll have a sell-off next year. It might be not at the same time for every coin. It might be closer to March. We'll have to see how much bullish movement we have left over the next few months. But we will have a sell-off because there's a 3 and a 4, right? There's a 3 and a 4, but it won't be over. We have bullish movement until 2019, 2020, and that's just what the waves are showing towards. That's just what the market cycles are pointing towards. And if you understand technical analysis, then you can kind of get a feel, and like if especially like if you can understand how these expand and how they fractal out and how the math works on that end of things, you start to kind of get a bigger picture for what's really going on in the market. And it's amazing what's going on in the market. The type of parabolic movement that we're going to see across cryptocurrency is insane. Like the type of growth that you can see inside of these charts tells me that we're just getting started, which is crazy because, for somebody that got into crypto when we were literally at $4 billion in market capitalization, this feels like how could this go any longer, because I've seen how much everything has grown. But it's actually very possible and very probable for us to go significantly higher over the next couple of years in cryptocurrency. Yes, there'll be sell-offs. Yes, we're going to have panic along the way. How brutal will it be? I mean, it can't be any more brutal than the sell-off that we saw in July, which was pretty brutal. But if you held through everything, then you could see that everything's recovering and then some. So really, you only lose if you sell the dip. So even if you're thinking long-term in cryptocurrency, hold for 2 years. Hold. 2019, look at this. We have bullish movement for years to come. years of parabolic movement. And, it will get to a point where things are out of proportion. We'll reach a point, it happens, it's a cycle. It's happened the whole time, actually. So we will get to a stage in which the movement and the parabolic growth can't continue. And a lot of coins, certain coins, if they aren't good projects and if they don't have real world uses and actual physical demand of daily application for demand, then they will, essentially pop. Like a lot of coins will lose all of their market value or significant portions of their market value. So, we have bullish movement for the next 3 years to come, but I also want you to remember through this period of time that it's a cycle and people will get too excited and there will be coins that are scams that for some reason get billions of market capitalization, or coins that are, they don't even have to be a scam. It could be like a sneaky trade-off like BitConnect, where people, like, even though Bitcoin is averaging more than 1% a day, because people like something guaranteed, they're willing to lock away their Bitcoins that are averaging more than 1% a day for the promise of the BitConnect 1% a day, right? It's just like we're going to have coins and things that will happen that overvalue and get blown out of proportion. So remember that. Remember to only stick to the truth, the real coins, like the Bitcoins, the ones with the track records. And when everything gets crazy, take profits along the way. But as we get towards, these next few years of bullish movement, just remember that. Don't get attached to the market at the top, because a lot of us are going to get extremely rich. A lot of us have already started to get very wealthy, which is amazing. I personally believe that wealth is a way to propagate good in this world if used properly. And I love to see everybody get and accumulate that wealth. And I feel like a lot of the people in cryptocurrency deserve this wealth because it's attracting very intelligent people from all over the world. So we do have years of bullish movement to come, but I want you guys to remember the whole time, through all of the market cycles, big or small, whether it's a 5-month market cycle, 10-year market cycle, or whatever it is, to not panic sell the dips and to take your profits at the top, because when everything is extremely, exciting, and that's just good market practice. That's what traders do. That's, if you want to be part of the winning 90% of the market, or the winning majority of the market, that's how you're going to have to position your mentality to do that. So, but yeah, it's what a hell of a ride. I mean, I love where we're at right now. I'm excited for all of you to be completely surprised. I know everybody was extremely surprised when I was talking about Bitcoin $10,000, and now look, I can't even tell you exactly when the correction's going to be, but it's at least $30,000 plus, and we're just waiting for those waves to come in so we can kind of measure where that correction will come in. But it's just like, as things grow, you can kind of get a perspective and measure and be able to see how much we're going to go from there. So you get more accurate as more price data comes in. And with crypto, like, we're really small still. Everything's really young. So that price data is actually pretty new. Like these cycles that are starting to paint are actually pretty small cycles compared to stock market cycles. These are a few year cycles, whereas like stock cycles could be 5 years. So like, it's just kind of a little bit of a different game, but we're getting into that point where it's going to get extremely parabolic, and we'll have these bigger cycles start to play out over, month period of time, year period of time in crypto, these huge cycles. And we can see that just because we're having the waves come out. As you can see, let me go to cycle. There we go. It's because we're having the waves come out. We've officially came into a full cycle now. You know, we had all this little teeny fractal movement, this little movement back here in the day, and now we've graduated, right? It's graduation time for cryptocurrency, new money, new cycle. We've elevated. There's more movement now. We've got all of this price, movement potential ahead of us over the next few years. So it's just, the dollar is definitely the worst investment right now. And crypto is where to put your money for the next few years, and then be taking profits along the way and not getting attached. I recommend that everybody studies and Elliott waves and looks for market cycles. If you just Google market cycle, you'll start to kind of see how this works. It's basically been happening since the beginning of time. I mean, Bitcoin, it's a perfect example of a beautiful market cycle. Let's go check it. Bitcoin, Tether. Oops, actually not Tether, because that won't give us all of the previous price data. Let's use something like Bitstamp that's been around for a few years. That's a tip of the day. Use exchanges that have price data. All right, it looks like my buy order, my day trading buy order will be getting filled about now on BitMEX. This is perfect. This panic on Bitcoin, you should be buying this because it will be engulfed by bullish players. If you're day trading, this is literally a perfect entry for Bitcoin between 17,000 and 16,800. That's like literally right where the top of that wick, the top of this previous wick was. That's where it's going to land, and then it will be engulfed by bullish players, and we'll see it break, $25,000 and $30,000. So this is the panic. If you're looking for an entry on Bitcoin, this is literally that panic that we talk about. Buy the panic. That's a perfect example of panic. So if you're live on this stream and you want to pick up a little more crypto, you can thank me later. So if you check out the previous cycle, back here in the day, we had Bitcoin go from $2 to $7 and then all the way back down to $3.80. And then we had Bitcoin go from $4 to $16 down to $7. And then we had Bitcoin go from $9 to $250 to 73. And then from 73 to 1,000 to 150, and then from 150 to where we're at now. So it's like, that's just kind of the type of cycle that we see. But as far as this bullish cycle goes, we have some hints as to how long it will last. If you switch to the logarithmic scale, our previous bullish cycle that happened in cryptocurrency, which we do not have the previous like prices here, but cryptocurrency was bullish from the beginning of its history. So we're talking about bullish movement from like 2009 all the way till 2014. So you're talking about like a 5-year cycle of bullish movement, and then look at what we have started now. Okay. So from the previous bullish cycle, we had about a 5-year bullish, and then we had about a 2-year bearish cycle. And then it looks like we're going to have another 5-year bullish cycle in cryptocurrency and Bitcoin, which could take it to any of these prices, into the millions. It's not impossible. I'm going to say it right now. It's completely possible for Bitcoin to go into those levels, the million levels. And we have, till 2020 at minimum, 2019, 2020, 2 years, 3 years of bullish movement in cryptocurrency. So the time is really now to be getting into all of this and learning trading and accumulating your Bitcoins and, getting that knowledge, getting it from any place that you can. I invest in knowledge. I buy books. I've got books on my Twitter. If you follow me, I've got recommendations for Elliott wave theory books that you can read, technical analysis theory books that you can read. I've got them right here on my couch. I go through and I read these every single day, and I take what I learn and I apply it. And if I'm wrong, I learn from my mistakes, and you guys should be doing the same, because that's how you get good at trading, and then that's how you get proficient at it. And then when you're proficient at something like trading, you'll never have to work again a day in your life. And that's a beautiful thing, and I want to help as many people get to that point as I can. So here's that link. A lot of people have been asking me about books, so let me just go ahead and copy this link to the tweet and drop this in the live stream. Here's the books that you guys should be checking out. All excellent reads, specifically applying Elliott wave theory and Japanese candlesticks. I like those ones significantly. We're going to try and come back in here with my live stream. Am I live again? Yes, I am. I apologize for the stream going on and offline continuously like that. I think that it will be fine once it's uploaded later. You guys won't have to worry about it. Oops. But yeah, so we're talking about a bullish market cycle for the next couple years for crypto. And that's just what the fractals show you. That's just what the waves show you. The market cycles show you. If you look, if we have the Mt. Gox, because we do have the Mt. Gox chart. If you check out the Gox chart back in the day, Mt. Gox, because they still have the chart here on TradingView, if I can find it. Might be able to find it. Alright, maybe it's XBTC. Sometimes. Bitmax, no. Okay. BTC. See if I can find it. Huh. It's not showing up on TradingView. That's strange. Well, either way, you can go look back at the Mt. Gox chart. I believe it's on Coinigy if you need. And you can analyze the previous fractal, because we had bullish movement for 5 years plus in cryptocurrency. And we had a 2-year correction, and now we have started that bullish movement. So my personal, kind of areas will be like 2020, 2019. Those are the kind of the areas that I personally see cryptocurrency starting to slow down on that cycle. But from the logarithmic chart, we have just started. This has kind of not been a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right here. We are looking at this now, something more like this.